Let's talk about the 3 most common questions that you will most likely get during your PA interview and how to answer them. This is PA Talk. Subscribe below for weekly content to help you get into PA school. For more common questions and a whole crash course guide to your PA school interview, linked below in the description is my new interview guide with all the information you will need to successfully pass your interview. So let's get right into these questions. Why PA, or some sort of other variation of why you chose to be a PA? What the interviewer is looking for in this question is why specifically you chose, of course, to be a PA over the other medical professions. And with that, they're looking for your proficient understanding of the physician assistant profession and what separates it from the others. So with that being said, they're looking for 1, do you understand what a PA is and how they function within the medical team and what a daily work routine looks like? Secondly, what about the PA profession do you like so much that you chose to be a PA? And bonus tip, how do you see yourself as a PA? So take some time to really make sure that you understand what a PA is and what separates it from the other medical professions. And secondly, what is it about the PA profession? Choose 1 or 2 things that you really absolutely love about the PA profession, which made you choose to be a PA, that you can talk about while answering this question. You don't want to spread yourself out too thin in answering why you chose to be a PA. You really want to hone in on 1 or 2 aspects of the PA profession so it really drives that message across, such as, for example, working underneath a physician and you really valuing the mentorship of your physician and learning from them constantly and being glued into a medical teamwork setting no matter where you go. The second most common and one of the most difficult and tricky questions that you will get during your interview is, why should we choose you? I remember being asked this question almost at all my interviews, maybe except for 1 or 2 of them. But I was asked some sort of variant of this question. However, after reflecting and preparing over the years of being asked this question and applying to schools, I finally figured out how to accurately and effectively answer this question. Again, just like the previous question, the interviewer is looking for 2 specific things. 1, are you qualified and how qualified are you compared to other applicants? And 2, what makes you different? What are you going to contribute to our future class and to overall our program and learning experience? So as you answer this question, of course, you can talk about undergrad experience, including your GPA or maybe internships and jobs you've had and balanced, as well as maybe research or clubs you've started. The real qualifications they're looking for, though, is 1st, academics, 2nd, patient care experience, and thirdly, which is tied into patient care experience, is interpersonal skills, or AKA most people know as bedside manners. Do you have effective communication, teamwork, and overall people skills to be a effective and a likable physician assistant that people want to work with and that people want to come into the clinic to see and leave the clinic or hospital, whatever it is, with satisfactory care, feeling like they were well cared for? The part about this question that really makes it difficult, especially for me as I was preparing for all those years ago and even this year when I answered this question a couple of times, was, what makes me different? You really have to think outside the box on this one, especially because, to be honest, we all did all the same things, almost like 99-98% of the same things in undergrad to become a PA. And we all want to be PAs because we love the profession and we love medicine and we want to go out there and practice medicine to help people, etc., etc. So you really need to figure out what's that 1% or that 2% difference between you and all the other applicants, and how that can enhance the learning experience and overall what you contribute to the program. Of course, I can't help you answer this, at least in a video format like this. However, I can tell you some of the things that I said would make me different and how I went about figuring out that process. What I said what made me different was through the previous job I had, where I was an EMT for a mobile urgent care. So we were going out into rural and underserved parts. So due to the nature of that job, my team and we went out to underserved populations all the time to work with them, whether in rural areas or even in highly dense urban areas and everything in between. Most people work in clinics or hospitals or some form of standalone office space where patients come to them, whereas of course in my job we went out to patients, which means that we saw a lot of people who are unable to get themselves into clinics and all the other issues that arise due to transportation, whether it be socioeconomic status, etc. So from my experience with that population, I gained a ton of knowledge and a lot of empathy, over working with them over the years, and I brought that knowledge to my program And what really made the huge connection was that my program has a course or a program of their own where they literally go out and they kind of like do this same exact thing, or they're experimenting with this same exact concept of reaching the underserved and trying to bridge connections between private and public resources to where they can bring underserved populations back into the clinic. So with my expertise in that area, I'm able to contribute towards that mission because this is something fairly new that they're doing and experimenting with. So a tip for you when you're trying to figure out what makes you different is just reflect upon the experiences you've had, whether it be your PCE experiences or just academics, or like I said, like starting up clubs, your experiences in those clubs, or some kind of fraternal or sorority organizations. And of course, what does your school focus on? Are there any kind of special programs that they do which separates them from other schools, that there's some kind of connection between you and that specific course that your program is experimenting with, or something that your program highly values? What is your program's mission statement, and how do you connect with that mission statement? What have you done to manifest their mission statement or manifest the desired results of this course or this program, a part of your school's curriculum? So, because that's what makes their school different, and that's what they desire to instill in you, so that you can go out into the medical world and into the world in general and enhance healthcare. So if you have prior experience with that, or you have the shared vision of enhancing patient care through these different unique programs and courses that schools offer that you have also done in the past, or if you've worked in the past, then that creates an amazing connection between you and the program you're applying for, which makes you different, and also what makes the school different, and how you guys can connect through that and manifest those results that the school desires and that you probably desire as well. Third most common but tricky, difficult question that they will ask you most likely is, tell us about a time that you failed. So the key with answering this is they're not looking for you to have a small failure, or that you're someone who's perfect, who doesn't fail all the time. They're looking for someone who is humble and who can really kind of show themselves through their vulnerability and how you came back from that weakness, from that failure, whatever it is that they specifically ask. So when you're answering the question of, tell us about a time when you failed, and you talk about how you failed a course, you don't want to just leave it at that, like, yeah, I took this course one time in college and I failed, and it really sucked, and that's pretty much it. No, you want to follow that up with, well, I retook the course after learning new study habits and going to tutoring and et cetera, and how that transformed me into a better person and ultimately a better learner. It increased my drive to be a PA and to increase my GPA. And in order to do that, I had to learn these better studying habits, which I was able to, again, humble myself and go out and get help from tutors who knew more than I did in certain areas. And so I learned that I can't do everything by myself, and I need to reach out for help in areas that I'm not that strong in, which is why, and then you can tie this back into the program, which is why, for example, I love your school and I want to go to this program because the student to faculty ratio is so good that it allows me to have more time spent with faculty or tutors, or have more resources available to me when I do need that help, or when I want to expand upon my strengths, or I want to be able to contribute more. So those are 3 of the most common and very difficult and tricky questions that they will most likely ask you during your interview. I really hope this helped you out. Subscribe below for more weekly content to help you get into PA school. This was PA Talk, and I'll see you in the next one.